And hello to all my Gemini friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for January 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Geminis a 4-corner spread. It's a great spread for general readings because it looks at the 4 main areas that people usually ask about in tarot, which is your love corner, the most famous, the most popular of all time. We also got the health corner, we got the work corner, and the financial corner. We're going to take a brush through all 4 of them, guys, do a little sweep over the whole thing, a little status check, and they've asked that I conclude your reading with a health scrub. So that is a much more focused approach on health, or something that they want you to be aware of for the new year here in January. Something with your body. We're going to go down the parts 1 through 7, the main regions, and see what they have to talk about there. Always a fascinating look into the health scrub. And we're going to conclude your reading with the rune stone. We have some of the biggest moon cycles of the entire year happening in January and February. So a lot to talk about today, Gemini. We're going to get started right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in with the overhead camera right here so you can watch. I like to share my table with you guys. And we are on and recording. What I'm doing now, Gemini, these are my ritual cuts. Cutting each deck into thirds, then putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It's the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. Then we're ready to go. So the first corner up here is work. Work corner for Gemini. Short and sweet. Over here is love. Bigger theme there. Down here is financial. And in case this moves off the screen at all, I will move the camera around so you guys can see everything nice and clear. I like to share that with you. Make sure that you can see everything I can see what I'm working with. Over here is health. We wrap up with health, also short and sweet. We do have some inverts, so let me count how many I have on the whole set. First, let's make sure it's in view. This bottom one, I can't tell if you can see this bottom one or not. The little grabber on the phone is covering right where I need to look, of course. It should be good now. I think we're good. Okay, we do have a Major Arcana card being pulled here. I'll pull that right now. Make sure that's in view too. It is good. Okay, so that part's good. We just need to check the inverts, because we do have some blockages here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. That's enough to do a discard, so I'm going to do a discard, and they want everything upright. Okay, this is something that happens when you get about 2/3 or more inverted. You're supposed to see if, hey, maybe we need to check this out and upright it, and that's what Spirit wants to do in this case. Now, the order needs to stay the same. That's very important in tarot. So I'm going to make sure that stays exactly the way it is. We're just going to upright all the energy, make it clearer to read, get a better read on it here for you guys. And now we are ready to go. So this is the final look of what we're dealing with in your spread, your 4 corners at least. So let's get to work, Gemini. Lots to do, lots to talk about. Okay. All right, Gemini, new year. The love corner is the big one. We're going to come to that last. I'm going to do health first, just because we're going to do a more focused approach on health when we get to your health scrub. So it's going to be interesting to see, what they talk about here versus what they talk about there, and if the correlations exist, like what is the commonalities between the group, synchronicity. So the first thing they talk about here for the health, the health situation is to, you really got to look at the bigger picture. A lot of you are like way too focused. Your focal point is like right in front of your face, and Spirit's asking you to look at the bigger picture here. Don't look at just right now. Maybe you're healthy right now, but what about 5 years down the road? What about 10, 20 years down the road? What about then? Okay, so these are the kind of things they want you to start thinking about right now, so that you are in better places when you get to that future timeline. Okay, so very important there. The next thing they show here is the cause and the need for rest and relaxation. It makes me feel like a lot of my Geminis are running themselves a little bit ragged. Okay, maybe you're working too hard, you're being really hard on your body, or you're just working long hours, or the blue collar thing, everybody's working hard, and the economy is not the greatest. I understand, but you know what? You can't do it at detriment to your health. Okay, so that's part of this whole thing. So, and even if it's just making sure you get enough sleep, a lot of people don't do that either, and that is such a simple thing. At least it sounds simple, but rest and relaxation, making sure that your batteries are recharged for the next day. Okay, if you're running in with 10% charge on your body, to work the next day, what do you think you're going to put out? You think you're going to put out 100%? I doubt it. Very few people can run that high. So, that's just a couple little tidbits here for health. They're really not chatty with it because they know probably that we're getting into the health scrub at the end. So nice, short and sweet there. Think of the bigger picture, guys. Gemini, coming to love last. So let's do work and finance now. Work does show kind of a split choice here. A lot of my Geminis have a couple different ways that this can go, or different things that they are weighing on their mind. Okay, this is a cerebral suit. It's my 2 of swords, so it means that this could just be a choice in your mind. It's not a real choice yet. It's something you're thinking about doing with work. Maybe you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to go do this job instead. Maybe I should apply at this. Maybe I should work for myself. Maybe I should start a startup. All these kind of things. You're thinking about this. There are some choices going on for my Geminis in the month of January. And it's coming in as a good thing. They don't show that like you're stressing out about it or you're too over anxious about it. That's good, because if that was the case, the card would be inverted. We'd be saying, hey, this is a problem, but it's not. Okay, so it's just a choice. Just remember that don't get too asphyxiated on that, especially if it's not real yet. You don't have to choose right now. But a lot of you are going to want to, because we have new money entering in the work corner. That is, of course, how most people do make their money is in the work corner, the workplace. And the work corner is a big place too. What if you're retired? Well, you still have a work corner. This has just changed to your hobbies and interests and passions. So, the work corner is a big place. It's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age. It is learning anything new, your hobbies, your interests, entrepreneurship. For most people, the JOB. So now that you've got the whole disclaimer, now you know which one is you. So they bring in new money in the workforce or in the work corner. So there's something that you can do to earn more. Whether that is getting a second job or whatever you're thinking about in the first part is, there's new money there. It's laying there that you can really just take now. They're saying if you want it. It's not coming in on a block. It's not coming in on a delay. It is right there, right now, whenever you are ready to pull the trigger on it. Okay, so very good. Let's go down to your finance, guys. Financial corner, then we'll hit some moon cycles. We have some big moon cycles this month and next month. So financial, the first thing they show is, a lot of you have learned some tough financial lessons here. A lot of my Geminis are moving forward in a good path, though. You're moving forward with the lessons you've learned. That's key, because if you don't learn the lessons, you got to repeat them. And you end up learning the hard way and living a much harder existence, which of course we don't want. We want you to, have a nice, easy go of it. Of course, nothing is ever completely easy. We have to keep learning and surmounting challenges, but that's just life. So they show here very, very prevalently that you have learned the lessons. You're carrying these 10 rods. It's my 10 of rods, 10 of wands, another word for it. You're carrying these rods of burden. That's why I keep saying rods, because they call it rods of burden in this card, because you're carrying this weight. And the weight that you're carrying are the lessons that you've learned. So it's been a tough grind, but hey, you know what? You already know these things. You know your limitations. You know your tendencies. Hey, you're not really good with credit cards. You shouldn't be taking out new credit, for example. Or, hey, you know that you shouldn't do these layaway programs. You shouldn't be getting high interest car loans. All this kind of stuff. So learning from the financial lessons that you've learned, they do show that there is a work message coming in very, very early in January for a lot of my Geminis. So this is going to be money importance, and it's coming in early. So this is like very, very early in the month. This is much more full moon energy, getting something out. It could be about that. We're going to talk about that momentarily to help you kind of pinpoint that. But we have a work correspondence that comes in early in January. So maybe it's about, hey, about that new promotion. Hey, about that job opening that you're considering applying for. Something like that. So there is a work correspondence that comes up, and it affects your finances. So eyes open, Gemini. The next thing they show in your finances is that your finances are about to enter, for a lot of you, the potential of a new journey. This is exciting things, but it also comes with the connotation or the disclaimer that you want to be a little safe here. You want to be a little conservative. You don't want to be doing crazy things with your money right now. Don't be radicalizing nothing. Don't be dumping a bunch of money in stocks and 401k, bonds, the whole bit, okay? Business startups, even if it's investing in yourself, you don't want to do that right now. You're entering a brand new journey, a new chapter. It's an exciting time, and it's usually a pretty good thing. It's a good vibe, good energy going on in the financial corner. But the Fool card, that's what it is. He's walking along the edge of a cliff. And it's, of course, very beautiful, very great scenery, very exciting to be walking along this cliff edge. But that's why you got to play it safe, because you don't want to slip and miss and then tumble off the cliff. That's kind of what the Fool card represents there, energetically. So, you want to play it safe with your finances. You're doing a good job with it. You got that message coming in early, and the lessons that you've learned, it looks like the whole structure is ready for you guys to succeed. Okay, so I want to see that you do that. Keep pushing that along as much as you can to further perpetuate the good things in tarot. That's what this is all about, planning and preparation. Speaking of planning and preparation, let's get into your moon cycles. We're going to come back and hit the love corner, which is a big one, so I'll be right back with that. Okay, guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Let's talk about those moon cycles, because we have the most lunar activity now, January and February until August, guys. So these 2 months are going to be huge. Let's talk about January. The first thing that comes in January is on January 6th. This is going to be a micro full moon. It's called the wolf moon because it's the first full moon of the year of 2023. And the full moon is the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit there, that you don't want there in general. Hey, you just got to get it out. It doesn't matter what it is. The universe doesn't care. We've done very specific spreads this month, and it doesn't matter if it's something we've talked about or not. Let's say it's something, for some of you it's people. You got to get people out of your life. For some of you, you got to sell something. You got to repurpose something to get it out of your life. Emotional baggage, stress, anxiety. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that's got to go and be removed from your life, let's say certain eating habits, the whole bit. It's full moon energy, guys, and the best time to do that is the first week of January. This is very much, New Year's resolution stuff is when you do new things. Well, actually, the way that the moon cycles line up, that's not the case. It's actually the best at the beginning of the new year to get rid of something out of your life with that full moon energy. Now, adversely, and what does micro mean? Micro just means that it's small in the sky. So it's smaller visibly than normal. And, does that mean that it doesn't work as well? No, not really. I mean, you can still get it done. It's, the energy is lightened a little bit. But let's talk about that new moon, because that's the opposite. That we have another super new moon coming in January. We just had one in December. We're going to have another one in February. And right now in January, the sky is going to be huge. It is the super new moon. It happens on January 21st. So, don't focus on the end of the month, because that gets back into the full moon eking in from February. But let's call it the third week. The third week of January is the best time to bring actually anything brand new into your life. That New Year's resolution stuff, save it for week 3. I'm telling you, much better chance of getting it to stick and making it apply. And you can just use this new year between now and then as preparation time to get ready for these changes that you're trying to make. And what are you trying to bring new into your life? Well, like I said, the universe doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you use it for. You can use it to attract new love. You can use it to attract new finances. Do something new with work, something new with health. It doesn't matter. So if it's something new, the third week of January is going to be your target time for that, so please stick to that. It's going to help it just move a little smoother. And if any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is for free, and it is on my website. You can check that out anytime. It's on my videos tab. Go to the bottom there. You can see the moon cycle cheat sheet, and it shows you how these energies flow in and out and how best to align important decisions in your own life to them to make things go a little smoother. That's what it's all about, guys, while you're at the website. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. That's at the sign up for that is at the very bottom of every single page, as well as follow the Facebook page, because I do giveaways on there, as well as my newsletter people get giveaways as well. And I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for promo codes and updates, see what's going on. We're always doing new and fun things on the channel, on the site. And also, guys, now I need to tell you about the new product. Speaking of new fun things, I have my quadrants video. I only do these in January, guys, and this is releasing on January 3rd. If you're checking out this video after January 3rd, it's going to autoplay after your reading. But if not, you guys are going to have to check it out. But it's going to be available and posted everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, on my website, the whole bit. Check out your quadrants video. It forecasts the entire year for your sign. And we're looking at, what is the best quadrant? What is the best, quadrant is basically a circle that's broken into 4 parts. So this is your year. What quadrant, what quarter is the best for you for work, for health, for love? What is the best quadrant to take a vacation in? What is the best quadrant for you to be a little conservative? What's the best quadrant for you to get busy and take risks? All these things are going to be looked at in the quadrants video. You can get a sampling of that for yourself for the sign. and that's going to be available to everybody. But let's say you want quadrants done just for you. This is the first time I'm releasing this, guys, as a personal audio product. It is part of the mini product line, and this allows you great planning and preparation tools for the entire year. It's the only time I offer this, and it forecasts the entire year. So this is all about you, so it's extremely accurate. And looking at all these things, it's a huge drop of information, guys. It's the best, probably the best bang for your buck. Anytime I've done this for friends, for colleagues, for clients, they always say, if you only get one thing a year, this is like the best thing to do, because it outlines everything that is important and relevant. So, and you guys get to check that out for free, a little sampling in the general reading. But if that's not good enough for you, you want something that's all about you, the Quadrants video is now available as a personal audio product on the website, and it's extremely affordable. Best bang for your buck you can get. Speaking of new things on the website, guys, I got to tell you about the shop. We got Tiger's Eye gemstones going in on the shop, and I'm going to be flashing pictures up as I talk about it here. We got the standard golden Tiger's Eye. We got the red flare Tiger's Eye. It's just red Tiger's Eye. I call it flare because it's so shiny. And then we got the blue Tiger's Eye, also very, very shiny, very deep dark blue. And they all kind of vibrate a little bit differently, but they're all kind of the same major themes. Tiger's Eye is really good for negating any kind of negative energy, transmuting it basically, and it's also good for insight and seeing things very clearly, and a whole host of other things as far as medical reasons too, medical things that it really does to boost your body. So a whole host of different things. I'm not going to spend, we got to get back to your reading. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but the whole write-up is on the website, scottsagent.com. You can check out all three of them and the differences between each of them. And also available, I got a few keychains to go with them. There's a few individual products for keychains. And the best part about the whole thing is what it comes with. Any kind of gemstone purchase is going to come with a free little nylon drawstring bag, a little way to carry your gemstone, and also a little pendant, which is going to be a separate gemstone. Both of those are going to come for free. Okay, well, what if I just buy one gemstone? Do I still get that stuff for free? Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You get all of it with every purchase. Now, it's only one per month, guys, but you know what? Most people are only going to make one purchase a month anyway. So you're getting all this free stuff with any gemstone purchase, and you can read that right up online. It's a no-brainer, guys. Make sure you check out all three of those beautiful Tiger's Eyes. Now let's get back to your reading. Okay, Gemini, I am back with that Love Corner. It is Love Corner time. Finally, it is here. We start with the Tower card. This is the card of a breakup, a shakeup, or a makeup. And this is just, a foundational, like rearrange, fast traveling change. It's like one day it is this, the next day it is this. And keep in mind that Love Corner is not just your love and relationship. It could be about your partner, but this could be a much bigger picture too, because your Love Corner is your family. Anybody close to your heart. Even close friends can come in there. I've even seen pets come in. So this is a shakeup, a breakup, or a makeup here of drastic change happening for a lot of my Geminis in the family circle and even in relationships. They do show here that we have kind of a mix of things going on here. We have some people. Let me give you the example of coupled here first. If you're coupled up, they do show that this is a team effort, that you guys need to get through this era together. Okay, so they show my soulmates card. That's how they indicate that. They show also that there's one person kind of doing everything. And, they show one person's off alone. They show the other person's kind of all tied up. Maybe the other person's all tied up into work. Maybe the other person is alone at home, waiting for the other person to come home from work. And this is the family dynamic. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the other person is all tied up with stuff at the home. Maybe they're a homemaker, housekeeper, and taking care of the kids and all that stuff. And the other person is kind of guiding the way and being the financial, light that shines on the family and takes care of the finances and the bills. And so anyway, we have a kind of a big group effort here. And the main advice I think that Spirit is trying to relay and get through is that you got to do this together. Even if you're single and this is not like a you versus them thing, this is you and the family working together to get through this era. So it's a challenging time because there's a lot of change. There's drastic change that comes in. Now, what exactly is that drastic change? Well, that's going to be different for everybody because this is a general reading. We have a lot of bubble energy here with my great Geminis all tuning in. And of course, that muddles the energy a little bit. Spirit does a great job of allowing me to still be very accurate with it. But at the end of the day, it does not beat a personal private reading if you're looking for messages that are specific, private, and just to you. I offer a wide variety of services on my website, from small all the way up to full service, scottsagent.com. Check that out, guys. So that wraps up the Love Corner. So basically what you're doing here is you're just working together to get through. And, this may be just a couple days that they're talking about. This is not necessarily the whole month. More than likely it's not. But it is a big theme. And it is a big thing that needs the attention. It needs the energy. And they want your focus on that. Speaking of focus, let's get into, well, I was going to say your health scrub. But first, let's do the runestone. I like to do the runestone while I'm still looking at everything on the table. Runestone time. They're already kind of mixed up. And I'm going to give one last swirl. And here we go with the runestone for Gemini. January 2023. It's going to be this one right here. And of course, this just goes with what we just talked about in that love corner. This is the runestone of disruption. It's like you can't write this stuff up any more clear than that. Disruption. And the reason that disruption happens, it's not like, oh, it's a bad thing, like, oh, disruption, I'm afraid of change. Disruption happens to promote positive change. It's like the hurricane or the big storm that comes through. Yeah, branches fall down, leaves fall down, the dead growth falls down, the dead stuff that's not growing, to promote the new growth to happen and to succeed and to flourish. So that is what disruption is for. And that is what's happening in your love corner. So it is a big focus on a lot of my Gemini's month for January. Now let's get into your health scrub, guys. I did not use that many cards. I do have a limit of kind of like where I go with that, but I did not use that many cards, so we're going to run it just the way that it is. We're not going to cut away or anything like that, so we're ready to go, guys. Here we go. Grab the deck. Get rid of these decks here. Now the health scrub, I may talk about it in a different order, but I pull the cards 1 through 7. So here we go, going down the line with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. First thing I notice, we have we have everything blocked. I'm going to do a discard to see if they want it that way or not. They do. So this is an example of where the fact is, we're just going to leave things the way that they are. In this case, completely blocked. So we're going to have to tread a little lightly here. And that is also going to change some of the messages. I do have some major arcana cards I need some angel cards for. Pretty big themes. I'm starting to understand why they wanted to do a health scrub and kind of leave me short and sweet on the other one to make time for this, because sometimes the health scrubs do take a little bit of time. We got some major themes, like I said. So as far as where I go, it doesn't matter where I start. I'm going to start at the top. The top, this would be a crown chakra if this was a chakra scrub, but in a health scrub, this is the top of your head. So unless they're talking about the top of your head, which usually, there's not a lot to talk about up there. It's just your skull, essentially. This is something that really permeates all through you, that you have everywhere. Something like skin, something like hair, something like blood cells. Okay, so here what they're talking about here is message coming later about that. So if any of you have been worried about something that is all over you, okay, you're going to get correspondence through that maybe later in the month or at a later time in general. It's not anything you need to mess with right now, long story short. As we move down, number 2 here, this is your head. This can be anywhere from eyesight, hearing, glasses, hearing aids, sinus stuff, anything else pretty much that fits on the face is what they can talk about here. And they bring in the Lover's card inverted, so there's something not working together very well with something else. It's kind of like a disconnect between two parts. And just like, the love relationship between two people, if they're not seeing eye to eye on something, well, they're going to butt heads. They're not going to, work together very well in their relationship. And that's the same thing that they're describing with what is going on in some of my Gemini's facial region here. So there's something not going seeing eye to eye, and I keep saying eye to eye so many times. I think Spirit just wants me to say eye. I think that's the whole point here. So it's something with the eyes. If there's something with your eyes that are bothering you, or you need, to get your glasses, you need a new prescription for that. Maybe, the old one's not working as well. Maybe you need to get, some kind of surgery done, some kind of LASIK, something like that. They want to bring this to your attention. That's what this is all about here. They want you to get to a place where you find peace. That is my card for my Oracle Angel card. So they want you to find peace. In this, whatever you can do to address this will help move you to a place where you just don't got to worry about it anymore. That's a great thing. Number 3, this is a dental region, the dental and the throat area, glandular as well. Kind of a small little pip card. I'm not really worried about it. I really don't know how to read it either. It's an event on a block. So this is something that maybe something, this might not be health related at all. This might be just something that you don't want to do and you don't want to voice your opinion about. So it's like hey, would you like to go to this party? I'm just not going to respond. Well, maybe you should. Something like that. An event, a gathering, going out with people, something like that, where they talk about using your voice. Small message, probably for just a few people, but in a general reading, I have to do what I got to do. I gave it to you all. Now, as we move down to heart and lungs. heart, lungs, sometimes the upper back for some people. Here they talk about, this should be better than it is. So there's room for improvement. Okay, what is that improvement for you? Well, it depends. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you work out? Because cardio is good for both heart and lungs. That's something wonderful there. So something they may want you to consider there for health is that this is okay, but it should be much better than it is. So even like, a light brisk walk, just movement is medicine. Get up and do something, right? As we continue to move down here, this is upper stomach here. They do show that there is some purging going on here. Very interesting that they use the word purging, breaking free from shackles, freedom. So this makes me feel like a cleanse. This is, your cleansing organs, your upper digestion as well. So cleanses would be very good for Gemini in the month of January, starting out the new year, fresh, your body fresh, your the intestinal health, stomach health, all that kind of stuff, probiotics, all kinds of different cleanses you can look into and get into. Everybody's different. Every body is different as well. And some bodies respond good to some things, some don't to others. And you never know until you try something. So maybe a good time to try a new cleanse for some of my Geminis. They do say here and now too, so they don't want you to wait. There's some positive benefits to be had by doing this, guys. Just don't want you to miss. Moving down the list a little further, this is lower stomach. This can be digestion as well, but more kind of like colon and like getting into the female reproductive parts, kind of the male as well, and just lower stomach area, groin, pelvic region, stuff like that, base of the spine. Here they show something that is kind of like this. It's not really as balanced as it should be. Maybe this is chiropractic. Maybe a good massage would help you out here. Maybe going back to the movement in general with the cardio that we talked about. Movement is medicine here. So there is some more kind of a balance that can be had in this spot here. So that's going to be open for everybody. You'll have to interpret that better for me. In a general, there's only so far I can push that one. As we move down to the very bottom here, this is the root, the complete base of the spine. This is the root chakra if it was a chakra scrub. But usually this is referring to your arms, your legs, your hands, your feet, all that kind of stuff. It can be sexual organs as well too, but usually that was more number 2. So here they're talking about a decision that has not been made, and this is a major one. So if you have a major decision to be made with your arms, your legs, your feet, your hands, something like that, even like I said, base of the spine, or even sexual, this is something that they want you to start addressing. This is a decision that you need to make, like, hey, you need to improve the health of this. Or, hey, you got this this weird skin lesion on your arm that, needs to be taken off. Maybe that's going to be cancers down the road and Spirit's trying to get you to avoid something like that. So they want you to imagine. That's the oracle card they gave us here. So they want you to kind of picture what this is going to look like once it gets resolved. And that's going to be the motivation to get you to that point, get you to do what you need to do right now, so the future can be that much brighter. And we just have a pretty good health spread here, honestly. Usually when I have a health scrub that's on the books, I'm usually thinking, oh, there's a couple things in here that they're really worried about. It doesn't look like that to me. It looks like just a couple like kind of more maintenance stuff as anything. Like we talked about the vision up there in the head region, and just the cleanse that happened in the digestive area here down to here too. So it just feels like a maintenance thing for Gemini. They want you to be in good health here, and there's a couple little key points that they gave you to help get you there and start this new year off right, get you moving into February, not having to worry about it anymore. So that has been the entire thing, guys. I know we've been through so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. That is it for me. Happy New Year. Have a great January.